Hi, welcome to Care to Watch. Today I'm going to be doing two pancake recipes. First one's going to be like a crepe style pancake and the other one's going to be an American style pancake. So first things first, we're going to make the, as pancake dates come in, we're going to do the crepe style pancakes as they're more traditional. So ingredients, you're going to need 100 grams of plain flour, 2 large eggs, 300 mils of milk, and then a tablespoon of butter or oil, but we're using butter. First things first, before we start any prep, we have to wash our hands. I've measured out my 300 mils of milk. What I'm going to do now is add my 100 grams of flour into it. Just like that. And then I've cracked 2 large eggs and I'm just going to add them in here as well. Then what I'm going to do is just give it a quick whisk in here to get it all together. This part can be quite messy, but I do it in a jug just to make sure it makes it easier to pour into the pan, you see. Make sure it's lump free and you'll soon know when it's like a smooth consistency when it's ready for your batter. Yep, so once that's ready and you're happy with it, we just need to start making the pancakes. So what I'm going to do is literally just get a scoop of butter into my frying pan, and then just to make sure that is, move it around, make sure it's all melted because you need it nicely oiled. So once you can see your butter starts foaming, that's when you kind of know that your pancakes will be ready. So just to make sure, I'm just going to give it one last whisk. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour this in, make sure it kind of like spreads around. You've just got to wait for that to cook for a few minutes on each side, so it should be ready to flip in a few minutes. Yeah, as you can see, this is starting to like firm up around the edges. So what we're going to do, just break it away from the edges, get right underneath without trying to break it, and then we're just going to flip it round, oh, like that sizzle. And then let it cook on the other side, just the same, like another few minutes just to get the other side cooked. And then we'll start doing proper flips, just to get it fully cooking. We are cooked on both sides, so we're going to brave some flips. Oh, I'm not getting high enough. Oh, it's kind of like rolling. Oh. Oh. So that's what you're trying to do. And that is your first pancake. Next pancake we're going to make is the American style pancakes. They are a bit thicker and fluffier. So for this one you need 200 grams of self-raising flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, golden caster sugar for 1 tablespoon, 3 large eggs, 25 grams of butter, 200 mils of milk, and then a bit of oil or butter for cooking. In this bowl here, I've got my 200 grams of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, and a tablespoon of caster sugar. So I'm just going to pour that into my mixing bowl. I'm just going to give that a quick mix just to make sure the caster sugar and the baking powder are like mixed together with the flour. So for this particular recipe, your butter needs to be melted. So I've got some pre-melted 25 grams of butter here ready. And then simply for this, you create a little well in the bottom of the flour, and then you pour in your butter, add your 3 eggs, and then add in your 200 grams of milk. And then what I'm simply going to do is just whisk this all together, making sure it's completely smooth to get your pancake batter. And then I'm quite happy with that, seems quite smooth. So what I'm going to do to make it easier to pour into the pan, I personally pour it into my jug so I can pour it into the frying pan. We need to add the butter first. So add some butter. Let that get all melted around the pan. Now that butter's all nice and frothy, wait for it to just finish melting. We're just going to pour in, as we're making the American pancakes, you don't want it to fill the whole frying pan, just need to do a little one, and then again at the sides, just like that. Keep them separate, and hopefully they will cook nicely. Then like the other recipe, give it 1 to 2 minutes just to cook on either side. You'll know when it's ready to flip when it is bubbling on the top. And then if you did want to spice up your flavours, this is when, as they're cooking, you could add in your chocolate chips and make like a smiley face, or you add your blueberries to make them more of a flavoured pancake if you wanted them flavouring. If not, you can leave them to the side and they can be your toppings. I'm just going to check to see if they're coming off ever so slightly, and now I'm going to flip. So they won't take much longer because, as you can see, they're already starting to colour. So I'm just going to, they're coming off quite nicely. So what I personally do, I flip again just to make sure it gets an even colour on both sides. Ooh, flip that back into the pan just to make sure it cooks evenly. And then hopefully after that we can dish them up and get decorating with some toppings. With these ones, they are stackable, so what I like to do is stack on top so you can literally eat in layers. So that's that, and then what we can do now is just decorate with some blueberries. And then they are ready to serve.
Thanks Poppy, those pancakes look amazing. So for the next style pancake, we're going to go ahead and make some banana pancakes. I think it's either a love or a hate relationship with bananas, but let's go for it guys, and we hope you enjoy making these banana pancakes. So what we're going to do first is we're going to list all the ingredients that we need to make the pancakes. So you'll need 350 grams of self-raising flour, you'll need a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 very ripe bananas, you'll also need 2 medium eggs, and then you'll need 250 millilitres of whole milk. So once we've got all those ingredients ready, what we can do is we can start mixing. So first of all, we start with our dry ingredients. So that's going to be our flour and our baking powder. So what we'll do is we'll put that flour into the bowl. There we go. And then we're going to want our baking powder, and that's a teaspoon of baking powder. So there's my teaspoon. I'm just going to sprinkle that all over. So what we'll do is we'll leave that in there. So that's all of that, and then you'll get your whisk. So we've got our whisk, and we're just going to mix that around. Mix that all in, so that's ready. And what we'll do is, so we're ready for later, if you could just put a hole in the middle, just separate that out. So we've just got a bit of a well in the middle of the bowl there. And that's ready for the next mixture. So we'll put that aside a second. And then what you'll need is you'll need your milk. So we've got the milk and we've got eggs, and we'll put them in together. So that's ready, but then what we'll do next is we'll mush up our bananas. So we take 2 full bananas, really ripe. The ripe, the better. And we're going to mush them all up. It's quite a nice activity actually, because they get really, really squishy. And we need them as squishy as possible, so you can keep mashing. We'll just keep going with your mashing. Wants to be like really, really mushy. Okay, so I think we're there. So what I'd do now is I'd mix my eggs and milk mix, and then we'd mix the bananas into that jug there so that we can add that into our dry ingredients. So I'm going to whisk that up. Lots of mixing going on. Okay, I'm mixed there. So I'm going to put that banana or bananas into the jug, and then we're going to mix all that up. And then that mixture will then go into the bowl with all the dry ingredients. So we can mix that up. That forms our batter, our pancake batter. Just give it another mix, keep mixing. And that's when we can bring back our dry ingredients that we made that small well in. So we've got that, and we'll slowly mix that together using a whisk. So I think we're mixed there. So we can start putting that into the bowl. Wonderful. So we're going to put that in. That sounded lovely. We'll put that to the side. Then that's when we get our whisk. Then we can start mixing. So we should have a batter at the end of this, and that's what we'll put straight into the frying pan to make our banana pancakes. We'll keep mixing, and what we want is we want a silky batter, so we want quite a smooth batter. So we'll keep mixing until we get to that smooth stage. If you have an electric whisk, please go ahead and use that. You will save a lot of time and hand energy. What we'll do is we'll put the frying pan on in a minute and we'll heat that up, and then we can put a small knob of butter in that frying pan, heat it up so it's hot enough, and then we'll pour the mixture in. I think we're there. So this is our smooth batter. If you can see, we've got a nice smooth batter there. Sometimes if it's too thick, once you've cooked a pancake, it might be too thick and you can add a little bit of milk into that just as extra if you want a thinner pancake, but this seems quite perfect for banana pancakes. So, and then we're going to pour it into the jug. So we're ready to pour straight into our frying pan. Now, so we'll grab a bit of butter, we'll put that in there and it'll start melting. Oh, can you hear that? I can hear it. There we go. Wonderful. So I'll let that go on the heat, melt in, and then we'll be ready to put our pancake mix in then. Okay, this is an induction one though, so okay, we'll put our batter in. I think pancakes all don't have to be, you know, the same shape, same size, all that kind of stuff. So we'll put our pancake on. It's going to start cooking from that underneath. And then in a minute, we'll give it a couple of minutes to go like that. And then what we'll do is we'll flip and cook the other side. They smell really good. Hopefully everybody's enjoying Pancake Day. I wonder what you all put on your pancakes. Please send us photos of everything you like to put on. Some people like fruit. Some people are more like chocolatey dessert type of pancake. I know people that have like full English breakfast on their pancake. Who's doing that? I don't know, but it's a thing. Not me. We're looking good. It's rising a little bit as well, which is quite good. So we're getting there, and you can just see those bubbles, which means it's cooking really nicely underneath. So we'll just give it a bit longer. We're smoking, we might be there. It's going to be a bit harder to get this underneath. Oh, look at that. Pancake. Again, your first one isn't always perfect. So we flipped it, but we know as soon as we see those bubbles, we can flip that over and we can just get it just right, just golden. So we've just got that extra bit of crisp on that one, but that's absolutely fine. We're all good. And we can give it probably another 30 seconds. You can see it just going brown, just underneath, just starting to go. So as soon as we've got that, and we're nearly there, you can just see it lifting already. So we'll probably be another, not long, I'll probably say about 10 seconds on that one. And then we can go again. More pancakes. I wonder what the most is that somebody's made before. Let's do that. We're on. Wonderful. What we do now is for the next one, you just add another knob of butter on. Get that on there. And obviously when you've taken your pancake out, you can tell if you need to turn your hob down. So if you need to turn that hob down, just get the hob down. Turn that down so you're not too high. As we said before, it's not always perfect on your first one. So you can go again. So we'll go again. Here we go. This one looks like it's going to be bigger. So, yeah, they're not all the same size, they're not all the same shape, but there we are. Pancake again, and we're good to go. So we're going to leave it, remember, until we just see those first few bubbles, and then we'll be able to just flip that straight over. Nearly there. Oh. I'm going much quicker on the second one. Beautiful. I think because it's such a thick batter as well for this one, smaller is better. So even if you just did smaller ones, it's much harder to flip a big thick pancake like that. So going a bit smaller can be always your friend on that occasion with that. Wonderful. Look at that. Beautiful. And that is banana pancakes, everyone. I hope you had a lovely time. They smell delicious, I'm not gonna lie. Enjoy. Look how fluffy this pancake is. Hope you had an amazing time making pancakes. Could it be any more fluffy?